What's up, guys? Same kind of video as last time, I'm gonna stick to it. Y'all showed some love on the last video. Definitely nothing crazy, but 1.5 views. I don't even know why I'm yapping about that. Let's continue. This video, talking about something a little different. I'm talking about the nonchalant epidemic. The idea of every young man in specific kind of forcing this I don't care persona, this chill, this relaxed, this non-interested persona in order to like look cool, I guess. I'm sure y'all have seen it everywhere. It's corny now, but like people still act like it. You just act like you don't care because it's cool now, I guess. And I've been a victim of it. We all have, you try to fit in, you try to be nonchalant. But it's just so stupid. Like, I have some talking points here, similar to the last video. I'm gonna just get into it. So, something weird happened to our generation, right? At some point, caring became embarrassing. Like, if you're too into something, too excited, too passionate, it's cringe, it's try hard. And the cool move, the right move is to be unbothered, indifferent, nonchalant. And I get it. I understand why it happened, but I also think that it's one of the most quietly destructive things going on within our generation, especially online, right? Being nonchalant, it's not confidence, it's actually the opposite. It's not even really a personality trait. Like, not caring isn't a personality trait. And I think that it's fear, and it's being scared. It's being scared of, being yourself, being your true self. It's easy, right? It's easy. Everyone knows the type. Maybe it is you. I'm not judging. I'm just here talking about it online. But it's the guy who never fully commits to anything, because if it doesn't work out, he can say that he wasn't really trying. And we've all done it, if there's something in a class that you're uncomfortable doing, maybe you're not comfortable public speaking. This has happened to me so many times. I hate public speaking. I'm pretty shy. And you have a project where you have to present something to the class, but what you do is you almost take on this persona of not caring about school, so that way if you do mess up in the project, or you're bad when presenting, you just act like you don't care, and then it almost makes it less embarrassing. But really, it just makes it more embarrassing, because you just look like a dude that's just sorry as shit and doesn't care about anything. And it's so dumb to me. Another example is people who make fun of other people when they're passionate about something. It's showing up to things and acting like you'd rather be somewhere else. It's never admitting you want something, because wanting something means you might not get it. It shows up everywhere, in relationships. I'm not looking for anything that serious. In school, I don't even care about my grade. In creative stuff, I'm just posting it. I don't really care if anyone sees it. The performance of not caring has become its own art form, and social media made it way worse. There's this whole aesthetic now built around being unbothered, low effort, too cool to try, and millions of young guys are absorbing that as the template for how to live. And here's what's actually going on. Let me be real with you guys. If you genuinely didn't care, you wouldn't need to announce it. You wouldn't need to perform it. The people who are truly at peace with something don't walk around telling everyone how unbothered they are. The loudest I don't care guys, they care the most. Something happened, they got embarrassed, they got rejected, they tried something and it didn't work out, and people saw it. And instead of processing that, they've now built a wall around themselves and called it a personality. Nonchalance is self-protection dressed up as confidence. And I understand it, because it works in the short term, right? If you never try, you never fail publicly. If you never care about something, you're never vulnerable. You're never the guy who put himself out there and got laughed at. But you're also never the guy who built anything. Never the guy who made something real. Never the guy who actually lived his life instead of just watching it from behind a fake wall of indifference. That's the trade you're making. And most guys don't even realize they're making it. Now for a little personal vendetta. I want to tell you guys, whenever I first started posting videos on the internet, my personal stuff, I was young. I was posting personal stuff, not funny memes, not safe content, not like stupid pranks, stuff like that just, it's not personal, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't go viral or not. I would post my face, my thoughts, and things I actually cared about because I thought that, that's cool, right? And I mean, it is. And if you've ever done that, you know how terrifying it is. Because the second you post something real, you open yourself up. Every single time I have anyone come up to me and they want to start social media, the first thing they always ask me is, how did you post without caring? How did you post without being nervous your friends are going to make fun of you, or your peers are going to make fun of you, your classmates are going to make fun of you? And the truth is if you're passionate about it, you won't care, right? If there's someone doing something, I saw this quote the other day, they love what you're doing, but they hate the fact it's you. People love a story of, he worked his ass off and he made it here. But right when you start, they're hating on you. And it's worse whenever they know you because they're silently competing with you. They're jealous of you. If you're posting a video online and you have a friend that sees it, and he may be your friend, but he sees it and in his mind he's like, damn, he's posting, I kind of wanted to post, but I was just too scared to, and now he is. And especially when your video is not going viral, he's gonna hate even more when the first one goes viral, when the second one goes viral. But once you got 5 viral videos, he'll stop hating. Anyway, this isn't about motivation, but people make fun of it. That's just what happens. You put yourself out there and some people are gonna clown you for it. That's the tax you pay for actually doing something. But here's what I realized pretty quickly. The reason it stopped bothering me wasn't because I got tougher or I stopped caring what people thought in some Zen master way. It was because I actually cared about what I was making. I genuinely, deeply cared about it. I was into it. I was excited about it. I was learning and growing, and the process itself was giving me something real. And when that's not the case, when you actually care, the noise from that, and when that is the case, I read that wrong. And when that is the case, when you actually care, the noise from the outside is just less loud. It's not silent, but it's less loud because you have something real competing with it. The guys making fun of you are sitting still. You're moving. And somewhere in you, you know that. And that knowing is louder than their opinion. But if I had been nonchalant about it, if I had adopted that, I'm just posting it, I don't care if it gets views, I don't care, I would have never started, or I would have quit after the first comment that stung. Because if you don't care enough to keep going, any friction is enough reason to stop. Caring is what keeps you in the long game enough to get good at it, long enough to build something, long enough for it to matter. Think about the people you actually respect, not the ones you think are cool in the surface level kind of way, the people you genuinely admire, the ones whose lives look like something worth living. They all care. Deeply, almost irrationally. Michael Jordan cared so much it made other people around him uncomfortable. He was obsessed. He took losses personally that other people would have shrugged off. He held grudges over slight things that happened years ago because he cared so much about winning. The greatest artists, the greatest builders, the greatest athletes, they're not nonchalant. They're the opposite. They're consumed by their thing. They think about it when they wake up and when they go to sleep. And yes, some of them are annoying about it, but some of them are a little unhinged about it. Why did I say but? Run it back. And yes, some of them are annoyed about it. Some of them are a little unhinged about it. But that obsession is exactly what produced the thing you admire about them. You can't make someone... You can't make something great from a place of not caring. You just can't. Greatness is a byproduct of giving a damn. So when you look up to someone and then try to model yourself after the nonchalant guy, you're copying the wrong thing. The guy you look up to is not nonchalant. He just looks calm because he's so confident in what he's building. That's different. Here's something no one talks about. In a room full of nonchalant people, and right now most rooms are full of nonchalant people, The person who actually gives a damn stands out immediately. Enthusiasm is rare. Genuine passion is rare. Showing up and being fully into it, not performing, not posturing, just actually caring about what you're doing, that is rare. And rare things are valuable. The person who genuinely is excited about their work is more magnetic than a person who acts like their work is beneath them. The person who puts real effort in is more interesting than the person who coasts. The person who admits they want something, who's honest about what they're chasing, is more compelling than the person who pretends they don't want anything. Caring is a differentiator right now. In a sea of people performing indifference, actually giving a damn is the cheat code. I want to come back to the fear thing for just a second. I think it's important. A lot of guys choose nonchalant because they're protecting something, you know. Usually it's their ego, their image, maybe they like someone, maybe they're trying to impress someone, maybe they have literally not thought about their own personality ever and they're just trying to adopt what everyone else is doing. And I understand it, right? Growing up, there's so much writing on how you're perceived. What your friends think of you, what your school thinks of you, what the internet thinks of you. It feels like one wrong move and you're done. But here's the thing. The version of you that never tries, never fails, never looks stupid in public, that's the version of you that never builds anything, never grows into anything, never becomes anyone's interesting, never becomes anyone interesting. The cost of protecting your image is your actual life. And 10 years from now, nobody remembers the guy who stayed safe and nonchalant. They remember the guy who took the risk and made something, who tried stuff and failed but kept going anyway. That's the guy with the story worth telling. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be loud about what you care about. You don't need to perform passion the same way some people perform indifference. But privately, internally, you need to give yourself permission to actually care. Care about your work. Care about getting better at something. Care about the people in your life. Care about building something that lasts. Let yourself want things and then go after them with your whole chest forward. Start the thing, post the video, put out the project, do the embarrassing early version of whatever you're trying to build, because that's the only way you get to the version that isn't embarrassing anymore. The people who made fun of me when I first started posting, some of them still watch my stuff, and not one of them made anything. That's not shade, that's just what happens when one person cares and another person doesn't. There's a version of your life where you stayed nonchalant, where you protected yourself so well that nothing ever touched you, where you never tried anything hard enough to fail at it. And it's a safe life, comfortable, no big embarrassments, no real losses. But it's also a small life, a quiet life, a life that ends without too much to show for it. And then there's the version where you cared too much, where you were too into it, where people thought you were a little much with how seriously you took your thing. That version is louder, messier, more embarrassing in the short term, but it's the one that's worth living. Care about something, build something, let it matter to you. Since when was caring a bad thing? Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this one. I'm gonna try to pump these out like 2 a week, once a week minimum. Once a week. Again, liking, best thing you can do. I mean, obviously, like, subscribing is up there. I don't even really know how the YouTube algorithm works. I'm more of an Instagram Reels guru, but yeah, just interact would be awesome. So I can keep growing this channel, more people can see. Anyway, thank you guys, and see you in the next one. YouTuber had a outro.